Hi, I'm JBK, also known as Jennifer. Until recently, I shared this YouTube channel with my 13-year-old dog, Ginny. But 3 weeks ago, we had to put Ginny to sleep after she suffered what the ER vet thinks was probably a stroke that left her unable to walk. Today I wanted to share with you what mourning Ginny has been like for me and my family. As you can imagine, there are things that have been really hard, things that have been really surprising, and even some things that have been really helpful in this process. This is not going to be sad because whenever I start feeling sad, we're just going to cut away to some cute dog video. Also, make sure to stick around to the end of this video because I'm gonna share a really special card I got since Ginny's death that's made me feel a lot better. When I started this YouTube channel over 6 months ago, hey there, I'm Jennifer. Yeah. And this is Ginny. My name is Ginny and a lot of things scare me, like noises and flags. She's our 13-year-old puppy. Ginny likes to bark, and she doesn't like to stop barking, even when we tell her to stop barking. Ginny had just been diagnosed with canine lymphoma, a disease that is terminal in dogs with a very short lifespan. My 10-year-old daughter didn't understand why I would start a channel with Ginny knowing that we were gonna lose her, which seemed like a perfectly logical concern. Of course, secretly, I was hoping for some miracle that would allow Ginny to live another 2 to 3 years with us, but really, I felt like it was okay for me to enjoy these last months with Ginny, even though I knew she was gonna die, because the truth is, we never really know when we're gonna lose anybody, human or furry, you know? Like when I was growing up, my dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and given just a few months to live. He was very healthy. He went running every day. He ate well. He was such a good father, and he was a very successful businessman. He ended up living a good 2 years past the doctor's predictions, but he was still only 45 years old when he died. I was only 11. And then there's my great-grandmother on my mom's side who lived to be 104 and died of old age. This is the world we live in. It's nuts. It's painful in one moment and joyful the next. And if you're lucky, it's hopefully somewhere in the middle most of the time. Okay, let's just go there and get this part out of the way. These are the things that have been really hard for me since Ginny's passing. The main thing that's really difficult is just how much I miss her. I mean, we were together for 13 and a half years. When I adopted Ginny, she was only 2 months old. Not counting my immediate family, that's the longest intimate relationship I've had in my adult life. She was my tried and true companion that whole time, getting me out of the house, getting me to slow down and just relax, accompanying me on countless road trips. We could just glance at each other and read each other's mind. She was a huge part of me, of who I am, of who I've become. So it feels like my heart's literally been broken. This hurts. And there's so much that just doesn't feel right without her here. Pretty much walking anywhere. I mean, this is Brooklyn and you can bring a dog everywhere. Or coming home and not seeing her face at the top of the stairwell, looking down on me with her tail wagging at the sight of me. The first time I took a nap without her, I cried. She always curled up with me, especially if an Afghan was involved. And who takes a nap without an Afghan? We always kept Ginny's water bowl and food bowl to the side of the dishwasher against the wall. That was really the only place they would go. So we never kept the dishwasher door open for long. because then we'd need to move her water bowl over. But now, when I'm loading or unloading the dishwasher, I know that I can keep the door open, but I don't want to. It just doesn't feel right, like I'm disrespecting her memory or something. Oh, it's on video. I didn't mean to shoot video. I loved the way Ginny smelled. I mean, I could just bury my face in her fur all day.
I love this pooch. Oh, you smell so good. You smell like dog and grass.
I know that's an odd thing to say, but I think most dog lovers understand what I mean. Dogs have a smell, and your dog has their own smell on top of that, and you grow to love it. So something that really surprised me was how much her smell comforts me now. It reminds me of her so viscerally, and it triggers my grief. But those tears and the crying have really been cathartic for me. Back when we first found out Ginny had lymphoma, we waited for the right moment to tell our daughter. And I think a few weeks passed before we finally did. And she just sobbed, like just wailed. It was heartbreaking, but it helped me cry more too. And that's the thing about kids. Sometimes you have to keep it together in front of them, but sometimes it's important for them to see you sad, to see you cry, and know that that's an okay thing to do. Here's another thing that surprised me. One of Ginny's favorite spots is on this field on the water in Brooklyn. It was our go-to place for her to run off leash and play frisbee and play with the ball because she was obsessed with playing fetch. And it was also just a very peaceful spot. And I always imagined that after she passed, I would sprinkle her ashes in the water there. What I didn't expect was that having her ashes in the house would make me feel better. But it does. It is really, really good having her in our home. It just feels right. Like we're still looking after her and she's still looking after us. By the way, I'm thinking of making a video about my decision to cremate Ginny and sharing some of the things that I've learned about cremation. I'm also thinking about making a miniature Japanese Shinto shrine for her, even though my husband doesn't know this yet. Let me know in the comments if either of those ideas interest you, or if you've done something to honor your pet's memory that's brought you a lot of comfort. If you watched some of my earlier videos about Ginny's lymphoma, then you know we opted to do some alternative treatments for her, including dosing her with cannabis oil. So now I'm just gonna literally put it in Ginny's gum.
Hi, honey.
Goodness. I think she liked that very much. I'm so sorry. I think I really took you by surprise. I'm so sorry. Medical marijuana has been linked to pain relief, and it's also reputed to have some anti-cancer fighting qualities. And I think it not only prolonged her life past the 4 to 6 weeks we were initially told. Ginny lived more than 6 months after her diagnosis. But the cannabis really improved the quality of her life. We wanted her to feel as good as she could for as long as she could. And the whole time I was treating her, I would say to her on a weekly basis, listen, we're doing everything we can to keep you alive and to keep you feeling good, but we're not gonna let you suffer. We will never let you suffer. And whenever you're ready to go, you just show us and we will support you. It helped me to start saying goodbye to her. Most of us don't get the opportunity to do that before our pets die. And we're at Blue Pearl Animal Hospital. I figure this may be it. Ginny may be ready. Ginny was 13 years old at this point, but in my head, we still had many years left together. My target age for her was always 16. So clearly I was in a little bit of denial about it, but this forced me to know what I was going to do ahead of time. And I'm really glad it did, because when we woke up that morning and Ginny wasn't all there and she couldn't walk, I didn't have to agonize about what to do. I knew that if this couldn't easily be fixed, we were going to put her to sleep.
My heart was saying, no, maybe this is just a passing thing, you know? Maybe it's a one-time mini stroke. And she'll wake up tomorrow and she'll be herself. But I can't listen to my heart. This whole time, Ginny's really managed to, I think, live a comfortable life since being diagnosed. And that's how, and she's not comfortable today. So maybe this has already gone on for too long.
And that helped me channel my energy so that I could be strong for both of us. To bring her to the vets so that we knew what was what. And then when we knew that she wasn't going to get better, to let the vet know, yes, we don't need to bring her home. We don't need to talk about it.
I'm gonna keep doing right by this dog. I'm gonna keep doing right by her.
That's the deal, you know? You bring this furry friend into your life, you have to be prepared to be there for them, to support them through the good times and the hard times. And the amazing thing is, it's a beautiful thing that we can do this for them, that we can help them pass. Thank you so much for watching. It would be great to have you share in the comments what your experience has been like losing your pet. What was hard, what was surprising, what was helpful. Leave a comment, not just for me, but because there are other people out there who will probably really be helped by knowing what you did. All right, let me tell you about this card. The day I brought Ginny's ashes home, I walked through the front door and there was a card from her vet. The message that he wrote me, I just keep going back to it. It brings me a lot of comfort. This is it, and I'm just gonna read it to you. Dear Jennifer, I'm so sorry for your loss of Ginny. This year has been hard for so many reasons, and you did a lot to keep her feeling good despite her grave diagnosis. I hope you take solace in good memories of her long life, as well as in knowing that you made a humane decision to spare her suffering in the end. Sincerely. And then he signed it. And it, you know, it's that last sentence. It's the last sentence, you know? I hope you take solace in good memories of her long life, as well as in knowing that you made a humane decision to spare her suffering in the end. We are so very lucky. We had over 13 years with Ginny. A lot of people have less. My mom and my sister and me, we had my dad for less. I don't have a big conclusion here because there's no way to wrap up this kind of subject. So I'm just gonna say this. Whoever is near you that you love, human or furry, give them a hug, a kiss, or a scritch. And then give yourself a pat on the back because watching this video took a lot of courage. I really hope it helped you in even a small way. and we'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, just hit that little bell icon, and that way you will not miss any of our future content. It would also be great if you could share this video with someone you know who also loves dogs. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up, because giving us a like is just a darn nice thing to do.